It's Keith. I want to talk about some stuff real quick that I don't hear anybody talk about when it comes to small business success. And this is establishing healthy boundaries with people, with your clients, and all relationships, friends, with family members, whatever this may be. And developing this will put money in your bank account and stop you from losing money and getting walked all over like a friggin' doormat. I struggle with a lot of this stuff for a long time, and little by little you get better at it, and you grow, and you evolve. And that's why I make these videos, is because if you're going through this stuff and you're clouded in confusion, and you got people pulling on you and guilt tripping you, or a toxic friend or a toxic family member that maybe calls you all the time and always expects favors, and if you tell them no, they fly off the handle, or whatever that may be. I don't know what it is, but it's always a good place to practice in the moment and push against your edge. And when you feel that hot fire or that fear, the heart racing, or whatever that may be, because I believe all people have some form of this, or everybody has their own issues, right? But just never talk about it or never admit it. So let's just move it into a client situation. If a client asks you to do something and you're in the moment and they're looking at you and they're intimidating, right? So some of you guys are experiencing business. Oh, that never happens to me. I wipe my ass with my clients and I make $5 million a year. Well, I'm not talking to you. You know, it's hard. That's why people don't talk about this stuff, because they know there's always somebody that's really successful that's looming around that will come in and just wipe their ass with everybody and say, you guys are like, screw all that. You know, this might just be my kind of like hallucination, but I do notice that if you go into a large room and you talk about something like this, something vulnerable, and I'll get to the point, it makes people feel uncomfortable. So shit, I'll just come on YouTube and say it to all you chicks. You got a client that asks you to do something, and they're looking at you dead in the eyes, and they want you to do it for free. Well, if somebody has healthy boundaries, they'll be like, oh, so you want to add that to the project? Okay, well, let's talk about that. Okay, let's pull out the paperwork, the contract, the work order, whatever it is. Okay, that wasn't in the work order. That's going to be an extra $85, and we can fit it in today. And that's really cut and dry, right? That's what people told me in the beginning when my clients were walking on me my very first year, when I was terrified and broke and I would do anything for money, and I was afraid the client would fire me if I didn't do it for free because I had this hallucination because I was flat broke, right? So you feel the need to do things for peanut prices, for low prices. You're afraid to charge more, and I don't know what this is. It's poverty, brainwash thinking mentality. It's victim-minded bullcrap, and I believe it just comes from just mediocre people, right? So if you look at your client and you say, no, I'm not going to do that. And you could get yourself into some mad trouble too if you tell a client yes, because you're doing what's called going along to get along. So a client asks you, hey, do you do roofing too? I got some shingles that need to be fixed. You're like, yes, I do that too. Now, I know I've said in my videos, never tell a customer you can't do something. Well, there are lines to So, oh man, this is great. So if you tell a customer yes because you're afraid to tell them no, or you need the money so bad, and you don't have healthy boundaries in place, because there's many reasons why, right? And now you get yourself in a sticky situation where you're exposed, then see where going along to get along has gotten you. If your customer wants you to do something that's going to make you late for another job, and you cave in and you do it anyways, and now that other customer fires you, see where going along to get along has gotten you. Like, you repeatedly will end yourself up where you're the one taking the heat and you're the one falling on your sword and dealing with it. And this is the crux, this is the paradox of small business, because what level do you do it and keep the customer happy? How much do you charge them? Okay, so let's move it to a family situation. If you got a toxic family member who calls you all the time expecting favors, and you can't tell them no because they'll fly off the handle, they'll guilt trip you, they'll bring up the past, whatever that may be, or maybe it's a personal relationship, and you can't even be cut and dry with somebody because of all this built-up toxicity and unhealthy boundary, right? Well, this is very complex. Somebody who's already got it together will just say, well, you just do the thing. What do you mean? Well, what do you mean? Of course, man. Well, of course. You just do it. Of course. Fuck no. This is a long, hard process. And lesson is repeated until lesson is learned. So building healthy boundaries comes down to the ability to hear no and say no with no residue. And that's also what a good, healthy self-esteem is too. It's the ability when someone tells you no, there's no residue. Okay. And the ability to say no to people all the time. No. And there's no residue. And if they have residue, I mean, that's on them, right? Because you're, and it really, I believe it takes sitting down and getting quiet and really focusing on what are your core values. What are your core values, and does this line up with your values? If it doesn't, and you say no. That's all there is to it. No, 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 no. If you have a hard time telling people no, you're going to have a hard time telling your clients no, and you're going to end up in a world of trouble where you're sitting there installing mulch for free or doing something at a low price, where you're sitting there in the sun, working your ass off, dripping in sweat, with a mess all around you, and you're freaking broke and screaming inside, and you know that it's your fault because you were afraid to just say no. If you got to go look in the mirror at yourself when you're done watching this video, and look in the mirror and go, no, 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 no. If you got to get angry and to well it up inside and get past whatever it's hiding inside, and you got to shine a light on it. And the ego hides in the dark, and when you shine a light on it, it runs. It doesn't want to be exposed to the light of truth. It does not want to be exposed to the light of truth, which is the ability to be true with yourself and say no. No. No, 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 no. Practice saying no. Do a split test. Next time a customer asks you something, say no. You know what I'm saying? That's it. I mean, that's a huge thing. I don't hear anybody talk about this type of stuff, but this is going to eat you alive. Oh, let's go start a small business and do all this. And the next thing you know, you're going through all these personal, emotional, and psychological torment. You feel like you're being ripped apart every second of every day. And you can't even talk to anybody about this stuff because they're like, what are you talking about, bro? You know what I mean? I love talking about this stuff. All right, I'm getting back to, I'm writing down some goals over here. All right, peace.